Welcome back, students. Today we are focusing on writing our outline for our DBQ essay. Again, the question that we are focusing on for this essay is explain how the Nazis changed lives for Jews politically, socially, and economically. Now, this outline is meant for you to organize your ideas in sentence form. You may notice that it's broken up into different sections. For example, we see it says essay element here, and description and criteria for success over here. These headings are meant to let you know the different requirements for each section of your essay. While you are writing your essay, you should be writing incomplete sentences. So here we have background information. If you look over to the criteria for success, we see that we should be establishing place and time, what was happening during this time. So, in the case of this essay, what was happening while the Nazis are taking power, or you could add on information about what was happening to Jews during the time of Nazi rule in Nazi-occupied Europe. That would include Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and the like. As we move on, you have already written your thesis statement. You are simply copying that down here. At this point in time, you should have received my feedback and you should have updated your thesis statement accordingly in order to add that information into your outline. We then move into our first body paragraph. We are going to start with a topic sentence. So you'll see again over where it has the criteria for success, you should explain the first reason that relates to how the Nazis changed life for Jews living in Europe politically. So again, this is the same as the main point in your thesis. Moving on, you're going to provide textual evidence. What you do where it says textual evidence is simply look through your documents. Here, your graphic organizer would be very helpful, and you're going to find the first piece of evidence that you are going to write about. So I may start this off something along the lines of, according to document 1, it says X, Y, Z. I would be making sure that I'm properly citing my information as I go. I then need two reasons or two explanations of how this ties back into my thesis. So whatever information you gave in your thesis, you're saying that this text proves your thesis is correct because one reason, and then again for another reason, where you write it right here. You're going to then use a different piece of textual evidence. So maybe you're going to use document 6, for example, and you'll provide a quote or a description of what you see in document 6. And again, using two different explanations to show how this piece of evidence that you chose goes along with your thesis. You are then going to provide a conclusion sentence, wrapping up your paragraph's key ideas. You're going to continue on with this process for your social paragraph, as well as for your economic paragraph. Once you finish with that, you are going to work on your conclusion. Now remember, we talked about synthesis already earlier on when we were talking about your graphic organizer. We're using that again in our conclusion here, but you're going to write out a little bit more about that connection that you made. So again, we're going to restate our thesis, summarize our body paragraph's main points, and connect what happened during the Holocaust to another time period or today. So here we're really focusing on what that connection is, and then why does it matter? So what? So why should we pay attention to things like the Holocaust, or why should we pay attention to discriminatory practices to other groups of people over history? This is your chance to really make some big statements about why any of this matters, why this topic of study or area of study is important to us. Now you may notice on the last page, you don't have to fill this in exactly, but I have provided you with some sentence stems to aid you in the writing process. I know sometimes I get a little stuck when I don't know where to begin, or maybe I have some ideas in my head, but I don't really know how to quite put them into sentence form. This will really help you in this process. So we have our thesis statement stem that we've already talked about together, some ways to start our body paragraphs, some ways to introduce our quotes. So wherever you see X, we would say something along the lines of document 4 states, and then you would put your quote there. For example, and also if you're going to paraphrase information or explain, we would write something along the lines of according to, and then give information there. We have some transition words, as well as a brief overview or a brief idea of how to start your synthesis or your connection. Like always, class, if you have any questions about any of this or would like some more one-on-one time to discuss your writing, we can set up some sort of phone conference, Skype chat, or something that works best for you in order to give you the feedback that you need or to answer any questions that you may have.